Right, hello everyone, welcome to our daily technical analysis. Today being the 10th of January, Tuesday, let's see what we've got. Start with the dollar franc today, simply because the dollar franc, as we said yesterday, is on this trend line here, and the market did have some potential to pop its head down, and it looks like that's what's happening today. So it popped down yesterday, and then it's once again around this area too. Maybe it will break this triangle out. So we'll have to see within this range though. Let me just clear this out so it's a bit more cleaner here. All right, let's just get rid of this. So within these boundaries here, let's get rid of this too. Okay, and in fact this makes a 4-hour chart. Okay, so within this boundary here, I don't think it's worthwhile doing anything. Only if it breaks up, it's good to go up. If it breaks down, it's good to go down, but on a limited range to around here, and that might just happen. Alright, so it might go down. If it breaks down, you can short it down a little bit, but I'd be using smaller lot sizes. If it broke upwards, then you could go long with it and then follow it from there, because on a daily, as you can see, it's an up move here. And let's see what we can do on the daily. We might possibly have there you go. We might possibly even see around the 1 level again. So there you go. All right. So just be mindful. Just wait for the breakout. I don't think it's worthwhile trading within the within these lines here. If it breaks up, go up. Down, go down. Let's take a look at the pound dollar. Let's first of all clean up our chart a little bit. Okay, here we go. Now with the pound dollar, as you can see, we have a nice push down and a bounce here. I think after the Prime Minister's speech regarding Brexit, the market fell a little bit on this, but I think it's about to start picking up. So the pound dollar possibly to have come to a support level. Let's see if we can mark it here. In fact, let's put on a daily to see what we got. As you can see, this is a support region there. Okay, so the market has a bit more potential to possibly come down to around this level. I don't think they'll be pushing it all the way down here, to be honest, but it's got some potential to touch this level here at 2084, so it's only another 40-50 points, and then to see how that goes along. So let's take a look at now the euro dollar. Euro dollar is, let's see what we've got now within this range here. The euro dollar has a potential to pop its head down a little bit, and if we just do this, okay, possibly to this 50 range here. If it does, that's good for a buy, I reckon. So if it pops its head down to around there, you'll be looking to be buying the euro dollar. I think it's got potential to go up, but just be mindful to be going in smaller lot sizes. I think on the weekly and the daily we have a nice breakout. However, it needs a bit of a pullback for us to be content with that buy level. So today's daily pivot is not a bad level, and that's going to be around there. Okay, around this range here. So if the market pops its head back down around here, I think it might be a good opportunity to buy later on later on today, or even tomorrow or Thursday. Dollar Canadian. Now, yes, there was a pickup level around here. This is the hourly chart. Okay, as you can see, the market was around here to pick up, touched its head slightly down. Now we can change this chart a little bit. Let's make it a 4-hour chart. Dollar Canadian's having a nice bounce off the trend line that we drew before. What we want to do here, though, to kind of guarantee it, whether we want to go long or short, I'd prefer to go long on the Dollar Canadian. And what I'd like to do is see a breakout before I do anything, because the market still has a bit of potential to touch down, but I'm still seeing after this big fall, I reckon a bit of a up move is in order. So if it breaks above this level, I think we've got that 33.40, 33.90 region around here, and the market will pull back a little bit. With the Australian dollar, now this is a nice breakout, as you can see, so we can now get rid of this and this. And I think if we turn this into a daily, this up move I think is very promising. I think it's the beginning of a new trend. So what we'd like to do with this new beginning is to wait for a nice pullback. Okay, so it's a nice breakout, beginning of a new trend. If that is the high of the day, let's say it's the high of the day and the week, just make an assumption like that, we'd like to see it come back to these levels before we start going long again. And let's see with respect to the past where that level would be. Is there, and possibly around there. Okay, so next week or later on this week, possible pullback to this line here, kind of like swirling down a little bit in order for us to buy would be great. Obviously this is a good level here on the Fibo, that 61 region, and I'm just trying to see if it'll match anywhere. No, that's about it. So possibly around this area between 73 15, 72.83, slightly higher 72.90. That area I think is going to be a nice pullback in order to go long. Okay, don't go jumping on board with the longs right now. I think a good way to trade is always to wait for that nice pullback before going long. Dollar yen. Now with the dollar yen, I said if the market kind of breaks, comes to these levels, then we have an opportunity to go long, and I think that opportunity still exists with the dollar yen. So what we have here, let me just move this away. As you can see, the market kind of bounced off from around the support level on this red line that we'd drawn. Okay, we can now get rid of this because it's done its job. It broke out, came back for a goodbye kiss. Now it's a support level. Now what we need to do is this is what? Now this is the double bottom region here. So what we want to do is possibly to move the market. Well, let's see if we can have a bit of a lift up from here. Alright, so let's do this. And from here on, if it breaks out a little bit, then we might see the market popping up there. So with the dollar yen, I think this Asia buy session was pretty good. Now Europe's probably pulling it back a little bit to go long once again in order to reach these higher levels. Okay, so let's do that. Let's put a few targets up there. If we choose to go long on this, it's not a bad idea. Targets, as you can see, will be along those lines there. If the market does push up, we might see it back again on this channel top here, and from there might see the market selling off. I'll just draw that for you. That's the bottom of that channel, that's the top of that channel. One other level is going to be to look out for, it's going to be this level here. So if the market kind of strolls up here, then that's not such a bad short area either, if they pull the indicators up as well. So it's worthwhile following the dollar yen as well. Let's take a look at gold. Now with gold, I did have these targets yesterday. Now these are resistance levels, so the market saw a bit of resistance there. Might see it pushing it down again. Okay, coming all the way back to this. It's a nice, as you can see, this is a good trend. Okay, start of a good trend there, and the market's pushing it down. So what you want to do is wait for the market to come back down to this channel bottom red line to around here before going long on that. Then your targets will be this, and the upper end of that channel there, so then you can follow it through. With oil, the market fell. I did mention this support resistance yesterday. If it falls, it did break down, was a good trade. If it broke up, that was a good level to follow to, and you can see the market is now coming to this level here. So if you're following oil with our videos, you'd have probably got that, because this was from yesterday. Nice and easy. Now we're going to have a touchdown here. So oil is probably going to be between these bands here, the upper level and the lower level. And from there, the market will probably give some support to buy. Let's take a look at DAX. Trading nicely in the range. As you can see, we drew these lines yesterday. We can do a bit of an adjustment, I reckon, just to make sure that we've got the latest levels. There we go. So it's still in there. I wouldn't trade it within this tight range here. I'd rather wait for it to either come up here for a sell or down here for a buy. And let's take a look at the Dow Jones. Now on the Dow Jones, that's a nice level there. I think that trend line is following through. This is a 4-hour chart, so what you might see, if the market breaks down, just follow it short. But this is also a good support level, as you can see the market just following that trend line along and buying there. So it's not a bad buy zone. It's a nice area where you can put a tight stop loss, I reckon. And if it does break down, you'll be out with a small loss. And then what you can do is maybe reverse your position and follow it short that way. If we take a look at the daily chart, that's where we're looking at, and this is a double top region. So this breakout downwards might actually bring the price back to this level, because that's going to be this M move here coming all the way to the neck on 19,655. All right, hope that helps, guys. Have a great day and good luck with your trading.